Hello, and welcome to today's episode of the Power of Your Mind podcast. You are listening to episode number 288. And in this podcast, we are going to be talking about the power of detachment in manifestation. Just in case you're not familiar with me, welcome to the show. I'm Victoria Gallagher. And in this show, we dive deep into the world of manifestation, the law of attraction, the unlimited potential that lies within your mind. And I am a best-selling author of Practical Law of Attraction and few other books, and also the founder of HypnoCloud Apps, HipTalk.com, and be sure to check out my new Believe app, which is launching very soon, or by the time you're listening to this, it may already be available. Today I'm drinking my coffee out of my new Believe mug. I got my lipstick on there. If you can dream it, you can do it. Actually, I have a new version of this. And I'm actually creating a whole little Printify store that has all the Believe merchandise. Believe is going to be a worldwide phenomenon when it launches. So we're going to have over 1,000 different audios, lots of new amazing features, and it's going to have something for everyone. But mostly, I talk about law of attraction, manifestation, business success. And so the goal of this show is always to inspire you to dream big and to live your best life. Every week, I talk about manifesting. I talk about law of attraction, affirmations, meditation, hypnosis, all the tools to help you to create the life of your dreams. And today I am delving into talking a little bit about one of the things that so few people really understand, and that is, like I had mentioned, the law of detachment. But before we get into that, I would like to invite you to my 7-day manifest success journal. It's my Believe Hypnosis 7-day manifest success journal. And you can download that free at believemanifest.com. So if you are looking to manifest a real change in your life, then please do check out Believe Hypnosis 7-day manifest success challenge journal. And that, again, that's available free at believemanifest.com. And this is a unique challenge that focuses on a different aspect of manifesting every day. Every day is a series of different journaling questions that align your mind with success. So be sure to grab your copy today at believemanifest.com. And also just, keep your eyes open for the new Believe app. It is coming really soon, and I am super excited about that. So let's just dive into today's episode, which is the power of detachment in manifestation. This is all about, a very misunderstood concept. And so this is something that's going to help you to really turn up your ability to manifest. And who wouldn't want that? So let's really dive into the true essence of detachment and how it can transform your life and transform your manifestation journey. So first, let's really just understand what is this whole thing called detachment, because it's really actually important just to understand the concepts that we talk about. And so in essence, what it is it's about letting go of the clinging to the specific outcomes. It's about setting our intentions and working toward our goals at the same time. So it's, a lot of times people think, when you detach from something, it means you just have to completely stop, wanting it. You have to completely stop, even trying to manifest it. And that's not what we are about at all. What it is, it's about, continuing to keep your intention on and working toward your goal, but not being bound by the specifics of how and when your goal is going to materialize. So it doesn't mean that you just stop caring about the results. It doesn't mean that you don't have the passion about your results. What it actually means is caring enough and having enough passion to continue to work diligently toward that goal, while also being in the flow of life and the different ways that your desire can come to you. Because a lot of times what we do is we get in our own way by focusing on the specifics. For me, I feel like, this app project has taught me a huge lesson that, I mean, I've learned a lot about detachment over my life, different areas of my life. I had to detach when it came to attracting my now husband. And you can actually find out more about that story on my YouTube channel. It's really a pretty fascinating story. But, sometimes, even though you find yourself with having a principal work in one area of your life, then maybe sometimes you find yourself attached again. And that is something that has definitely happened with me and this new Believe Hypnosis app. So one of the things I've kind of realized is that I too was probably getting a little caught up on the hows and the whens. Think about it. I was given a deadline, of course, rightfully so. I should be thinking the app would get done in 5 months, as they said that it would. That didn't happen. And of course, but whether here's the key thing here, whether it was right or wrong that I should be expecting it, I did start to get really attached to the whole notion. As soon as the time frame came that it was supposed to be done, what happens? I start getting really attached to all these deadlines and time frames. And not only that, but I also got attached to that these developers needed, to finish up their job and all of that. When in actuality, so that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what the attachment is like. But how do I let go? How do I put all this time and energy into a project that I care so much about and then be able to let it go? And the way that in an ideal world, if I was, being the person that I strive for myself to be, what I would be doing is I would be focusing more on the long term of, the general idea of this app. No matter when it happens, I want millions of subscribers. I want this app to be used and change the lives of millions of people. That's the goal. How we get there, when we get there, that's the job of the universe. So it is really crucial to establish and distinguish that there is a difference between, detachment and indifference. So again, it doesn't mean that you don't care or that you care less about the outcome at all. It doesn't mean that you don't continue to put effort into and intention into your manifestation. What it means, because detachment is an active choice. It is about continuing to put effort in. So like just using this example, I think is a really good way to explain it. So from where I stand, what that means is that I continue to create the content that's going to go into this app. I continue to act like the person that I would be being if this app was already done. I continue to, help people in other ways. I continue to make videos like the one that I'm making right now. And I continue to help people in the best possible way, because isn't that really what it is all about in the first place? It's helping people. I want to make an impact on millions of lives. The app just happens to be the instrument that is going to be coming through in the future. But right now, it's not really blocking my ability from making an impact on millions of people. There's YouTube, there's this podcast, there's TikTok. There are other apps out there that I can put my content in the meantime. And so it is about recognizing that, there are other ways to achieve whatever it is that you are setting out to do. So what is it for you? What is it for you that you're clinging on to and you think it has to be a certain way, and not having it that way is so maddening. It's so maddening. And but that it's maddening only prolongs the suffering that you're going to have to go through and endure. And so what you have to learn how to do is is a balance. You have to continue to put your best effort out there. You have to continue setting your intention, but you also have to be willing to take a step back and allow things to happen without trying to control every single aspect of it. It's basically like you planted the seed and you continue to nurture that seed every day. You don't go out there and dig up, the dirt that you planted that seed in every day and watch to see, like, is it growing? Is it growing? Is it growing? No, it's like a watch pot never boils. You can't just keep watching and waiting. You've got to kind of like, um, you know, keep your focus on the macro level, not on the micro level. I think that's a really good way to explain it. And so here's one of the reasons why detachment is so important. It's such a powerful tool for being able to maintain an emotional balance. When we are overly attached to the outcome of our efforts, we're on this roller coaster of emotions. We feel elated and ecstatic and happy one moment when everything seems to be going our way, and then we're devastated when things are falling apart, when they're not going exactly our way. And so what detachment does is it just helps you to be able to stay centered, stay calm, get some perspective, and realize that whatever it is that you're going for, it's not always a clear straight line. There are going to be sometimes some twists and turns and some unexpected challenges. And you have to also kind of realize too that a lot of times the process that you go through to manifest your desire is the journey. That is what you're meant to be going through. That the whole reason we're even here and we have this idea, is really not even necessarily it's not the point. The point really is that you're here to live your life purpose. And part of your life purpose requires you to grow into it. So all of the ups and downs and the twists and turns that are going to happen while you're in that process, while you're in that journey, is meant for you. And so try to enjoy the journey. Try to find some peace. Try to find some moments of calm. Try to actually act like, the person that you are in this life to become, because you're not You're not the person that you're going to be once this has come to fruition yet. Otherwise, you would have it. So life in the universe is challenging you to kind of grow up, you know, and kind of learn how to do things a little different rather than, having the same exact reactions to things all the time. Try a different reaction. Try to remain in the moment. Try to find some joy. Try to, really be here now, be present. And so as we go a little deeper into this topic today, just keep in mind that, you know, by no means does detachment mean that you are supposed to give up on your dream or that you're supposed to lose your drive. No, just quite the opposite. You are still going to manifest that dream. You still need the same drive and ambition. What you also will have as a result of that is newfound freedom from the chains of the attachment and to be able to experience true liberation. So now that we've really laid the groundwork on what detaching really means, I want to explore how this concept really complements the law of attraction. So many of you are, of course, familiar with the law of attraction. And if you have not read my book, Practical Law of Attraction, I highly encourage you to get yourself a copy because it's a timeless best-selling book that I'm so proud to have been able to be the author of. It is just packed with so much insight, but the 8 manifesting conditions really are the key to manifesting everything that you ever wanted. Now, where does detachment fit into the picture of the law of attraction? So we know that law of attraction is the idea that our thoughts and our feelings attract similar experiences into our lives. But it, obviously goes beyond our thoughts and our feelings. There's also the action, and there's also just the beliefs, believing, which is completely different from a thought. And where detachment really plays a role in the law of attraction is, it's really about trusting the process. It's really about doing your part. It's really about setting the clear intention, putting in the effort, and then letting go of your need to control every detail on how your intentions are going to manifest. And this approach is the key to making it work, because here's where it really gets into the law of attraction. It's about releasing your resistance to what is in the present moment. See, what is, if you're feeling detached, is that you don't have it. And that's where your focus is right now. If you are attached, you're focused on not having it. That's why you feel attached, because you don't have it, because you're in resistance. You see what I'm saying? So think about it. When you are attached to a specific outcome, you are creating a feeling, and this feeling comes from the fear, comes from the doubt, it comes from the anxiety. What if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't happen? What if it takes too long? What if it takes too long? If it takes too long, it's only taking too long based on some rule that you have established, and you have resistance to how the universe is going to bring it and when is going to bring it about. You see what I'm saying? So it is about this feeling that you have to let go of. You have, this feeling that you have is actually pushing it even further away. And that's why you have to detach. And when you do detach, it helps to alleviate those feelings. It helps you to actually stay more hopeful. It helps you to have the expectancy that, look, this is happening. I have to say constantly, do you hear me? I have to say constantly to people, my app is coming out soon. I've actually released the need to talk about any dates at all. I've released any possible embarrassment. It's not my fault. It's just not meant to happen, at the time that I thought it was going to happen, that I expected it to happen, all of that. I, am just trusting. And, the universe is giving me signs that everything is going to be okay. And as soon as I started trusting, that's what I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting more reason to be okay with where things are at right now. And so you have to let go of that that attachment, because that is the thing that will drag you down. And I did let it drag me down. Absolutely, I let that drag me down. And I'm sure that had I not had the resistance, possibly, there's something, listen, there's some kind of energy that I have been carrying within me that is manifesting this. Now, if I get into all the details about exactly what was supposed to take place, what didn't take place, then that can drive me absolutely up a wall. Okay? But when you take it back to you and you realize that it is me who is carrying an energy that is influencing things to happen as they are happening. And if that energy is saying, oh, shame on them, they didn't get it done right, blah, 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 and you just have this constant dialogue about it's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. Guess what? That's an energy, and that energy creates. And so you have to be able to change that dialogue somehow. You have to be able to create and step into a new mindset while you're still staying committed to your goals. So here's a couple things that you can do while you're in that place, while you're manifesting. This is how you manifest. This is how you manifest. You don't get focused and caught up on the how. What you focus on is your why. You remember why it was that you set your goal in the first place. This helps you to focus on the deeper purpose behind why you want to manifest this in the first place. The second thing that you want to do is you also want to practice being mindful. Practice staying in a place of being grounded, being present. This is going to help you to not get carried away by all of your expectations. The next thing you want to do is you also want to celebrate any of the small wins. Okay, so we're in a process right now. This is what I'm having to do. We're in a process right now where I had to let go of the developers that were not working out earlier before they actually finished even fixing some of the existing issues. And that took a lot of guts. I will tell you, I really wanted for them to at least provide to me a somewhat finished project. We had to basically turn this over to my new development team. And what that is taking is really having to focus on all the wins, focusing on, like, look, the app is 99% ready to launch. There's just this one little issue in it. Now, I could focus on that one little issue that is preventing it from getting out there into the public, or I could focus on the 99% of how far we've actually come over the last, almost 2 years. Okay. So then, then we had this period of time where we had a release period of this document that they needed me to sign. And, we had to go back and forth about what we were agreeing to. And that was a process in and of itself. We had to go through that. But then a period came where I was able to sign the document. That was a little bit of progress. Then once I signed the document, they sent me the invoice. I paid the invoice. That was another sign of progress. Then there was a point in time where we had, all the deliverables, and, they decided for whatever reason, they want to wait it out to the final hour, even push it past the deadline a little bit for me. And, that was a win, though. Every little piece that I got was a little piece of progress. I had to continue to focus on the little piece of progress, the small wins, keeping the end goal in mind. And now the code is with my new team. And that is a huge, huge amount of progress, because what this basically means is that I am no longer a hostage. I have my code, and no matter what happens with my new team, I will always be in possession of my code from this moment forward. That's a huge win. Even though my ultimate goal has not come to fruition again, that's what I'm focusing on, is all of these things. And then, of course, trusting the process, trusting that this is a journey. And so that's the fourth thing here that you want to do to manifest, is trust the process. Understand that sometimes things take a different path than what you initially envisioned. And then another thing also that I've been doing a lot of, which is helping so much, is journaling. I forgot how much I really do enjoy journaling. I do tend to, do it early in the morning when, I don't know, my brain isn't quite ready to be in that state. So it's really kind of like the last part of my manifesting routine in the morning. First I meditate, then I do my hypnosis, then I do my reading. By that point, then I'm woken up enough to where I can really get into the journaling. Then I put my earbuds in, and I listen to some really inspiring music, and then I just write. And I usually write a minimum of 1 page in my journal. And what I'm writing about is I'm writing what I'm grateful for. I'm writing about what my intention, that what's happening. And there isn't really necessarily a formal, I just really free flow, but these are some of the things that come out of me, is what I'm grateful for, and what I am currently in the process of manifesting. And, but writing really just helps you to, again, it helps you to release that attachment feeling, that icky feeling. It just helps you to get more clear on what it is that you're moving toward. And when you integrate these practices, that's when you really create a balance. You are actively working toward your goals, but you're also giving some space for the universe to work its magic. And just remember that law of attraction, it's not about inaction, being in action. You are doing something every day. You definitely want to be taking some kind of inspired, not have to, but inspired action coupled with the practice of surrendering. So it's all about balance. So having understood a little bit more how detachment complements the law of attraction, let's just move into a few more ideas on how you can let go of any attachment. If this hasn't been enough already, I have just a few more ideas for you on letting go of, on allowing yourself to be detached. And one of the things that you really need to get into the habit of doing is letting go of very specific outcomes. Start by acknowledging your desire for a specific outcome, recognize it, but then consciously remind yourself that there may possibly be other equally fulfilling outcomes. And I know sometimes that can be really hard to believe, especially a lot of times when it comes to people wanting to manifest specific people for relationships. Oh my God, that is probably one of the most difficult things for people to do. And you got to remember, I mean, there are 8 billion people in this universe, in this world, in this planet. It's probably more beings in the intergalactic region. But anyway, getting back on track here. You have to just realize that sometimes life has something even better in store for you. And if you just allow yourself to kind of like let go and trust, and just say to yourself, I'm open to this or something better. This affirmation lets you set your intention while also at the same time being open to the possibility that the universe has a better plan. And just visualize yourself even releasing that attachment. Just imagine that you're just taking whatever it is. Shakti Gawain has a wonderful detachment exercise called the pink bubble technique, where you take your desire and you surround it with a, beautiful pink bubble, or it could be a balloon or, anything that kind of floats. Just use your imagination, take it, put it in there, and just watch it float away. And this really sends a signal to your subconscious mind, to the universe, that you are allowing yourself to trust in the universe to deliver the best possible outcome. The other way to really allow yourself to detach, the other technique, is just focusing on the present moment. Every day you want to take some time to engage in some mindfulness exercises. This could be as simple as just doing some mindful breathing, doing any kind of numerical type of breathing where you focus on breathing into a certain number, holding for a certain number, letting it out to a certain number, and holding at the bottom for a certain number. So, I mean, there's a bunch of ways that looks. There's box breathing. There's 4-7-8 breathing. There's the 7-11 breathing. Any kind of breathing. And in my new app, which is coming soon, I actually have a whole bunch of breathing techniques in there. So I can't wait to share those with you. But if you just focus solely on your breath, do you realize how important your breathing is to your whole life? I mean, this is something that we take so for granted. And yet it is the very thing that if you didn't have it, you wouldn't be alive. And so take some time just to focus on this really important part of yourself. And, just make a conscious effort to enjoy the process. If the process that you have to endure and go through to manifest this thing isn't enjoyable for you, it might be a sign that you're on the wrong track. It might be a sign that this isn't really what you're meant to do. If you have to do something that you do not like to do in order to manifest this, it's probably not really the right thing for you. For example, like, if you're trying to get a guy, and this is like one of the classic things, if you're trying to get a guy or a gal for that matter, and, like if you're trying to attract a man and you're going to golf courses or you're going to shooting ranges or you're going to things, going to sporting events and you're just going there because you're trying to attract a man, but you don't have any interest in those things, guess what? You're not going to be very happy in this relationship because guess what kind of, men go to golf and play golf. Men who play golf. If don't want to attract a man who plays golf, that's not what you want to do. If you're in a business just to make money, but you have to do things that are not in integrity or that just don't feel good or they're not you, guess what? You're going to be stuck having to do the things that you don't really like in order to. So, whatever it is, like figure out, like, why is it so hard for you to wait? Because waiting should actually be enjoyable because whatever it is that you're doing in the meantime, it should be enjoyable. Me, what do? I do the thing that I like to do. I teach people to improve their lives in the meantime. In the meantime, I'm doing the thing that I would be doing anyway. I'm creating amazing content. I would be doing that anyway. In the meantime, I make my YouTube videos, I make my TikTok videos, I make my Instagram, I post on Facebook. I'm doing that anyway. And so, not too much about my life is really going to be different. It's just going to be that I have this app now. And I do feel like it is a vehicle that is, gonna just make it, a little bit easier to have all my content in the same place. And anyway, all that to say, if you find yourself doing things that you don't really truly love, maybe you want to start to practice doing more things that you enjoy doing. Practice doing things that you would be doing if you had already manifested. That's what I want you to do. I want you to just think, well, what would my life look like if I had already manifested this thing? And then start doing some of those things. Because the more you can get your current life to match up and look like the life that you're striving for, the quicker you're going to manifest that and the less resistance you're going to have because you're enjoying your life. You're acting like you would be. You're getting to enjoy it now. There's no reason to wait. And the other thing too is just, when you find yourself worrying and thinking, oh, what if it doesn't happen? Recognize that worry is the same thing, as when you're thinking the positive thoughts. Whatever you're worrying about, whatever you're focusing on, that's what you're creating. And so you want to stop the worry and guide your thoughts back to the present moment. And so those are just, a few of my recommendations, a few techniques. Just remember that, practicing detachment doesn't mean that you stop caring about your goals. It simply means that you continue to give your best, you step back, you allow the universe to handle the rest of whatever it is. You can only go as far as you can go. Do what you know to do. Go as far as you can go and let the universe handle the rest. And I can't emphasize enough. It is about finding this balance between action and surrender, effort and ease. It's about incorporating all of these practical steps that I've given you and creating a mindset of detachment, reducing that anxiety about the outcomes and opening yourself up to the world of possibility. So, one last thing before we conclude today is just to talk about how do you balance that strong desire with the need to stay detached. It's kind of like trying to hold a small bird in your hand. And if you hold that bird in your hands too tightly, it's probably going to stop breathing. And, but if you hold it too gently, it's probably going to fly away, right? So it's this gentle balance between, not holding on too tight, but not just completely letting go. And getting this balance right is really, really important when you're trying to manifest your dreams. So how do you set your goals without getting too wrapped up in how they turn out? It's about the way that you think about your goals. When you decide about a goal, knowing why, again, getting back to the why, knowing why that goal is important to you, imagine achieving that goal. Imagine feeling excited about that goal. Imagine feeling happy about that. But here's the important part. After you've done this visualization, that you think about why, you think about the excitement, you think about achieving that goal, then you just let it go. And you think about it again, like just releasing this balloon up into the sky. You let it go and you trust that it's going to end up exactly where it should. So once again, it's not about not caring. It's about caring for your goal, doing your best, not stressing with exactly how and when it's going to happen. It's about trusting the process. And when you can find yourself in this place of not getting so caught up in the outcome and taking a step back and reminding yourself of why you started and focus on enjoying the journey, not just the destination. When you finally get to that place, there's going to already be something else that you're going to want to achieve as well. You always do. There's always a next step. No matter where you end up, there's always going to be the next step. So acknowledge the steps that you have already, achieved right now, and trust and believe that things are going to work out. They may not go exactly how you planned, but they are going to work out in the best way for you. And so that is essentially where I want to, leave you with today. Because, detachment, it's about decluttering your mind. It's about freeing yourself. And it's about ultimately, believing that it's for you, that you would not have been placed with this desire if you weren't meant to achieve it. We've all faced unexpected challenges. And, I have faced unexpected challenges, but, when you just believe that you will achieve and that you are in the right place and that things will happen when the time is perfect for you, then you can continue to stay positive, stay inspired, and remember that great things are on the way to you. So before you go, if you found today's episode helpful, please do subscribe, share this episode with anyone that you feel could benefit from this. I have so many more great episodes, great topics, great, amazing guests on the way. Until then, remember, the key starts within you. Take some time today to balance yourself, take action, but also take some time to relax and let go. And also be sure to grab, in the meantime, your 7-day Manifest Success Challenge journal at believemanifest.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Power of Your Mind podcast. I hope you found it informative and inspiring. Please, again, share this podcast with your friends, with your family. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review. Tune in next week for another inspiring episode. And until then, keep using the power of your mind to reach your goals and live your best life of abundance and joy. Bye now.